Just like the W-4 that you filed when you started your employment, P stands for pension. It's nice to submit a new one because the one that you did submit is with payroll. This one's going to OPM. Yes, sir.
I apologize, you probably already said it, I missed it, but the request for retirement counseling would be with your office or with OPM?
Yes, sir. Question is, who would you request retirement counseling with? Yes, it would be with our office.
With Robert.
With Ravis. Yes.
Do you have to be a certain amount of years from retirement where you guys will grant that counseling?
Within 2 years.
2 years? Okay.
Yeah. It would be, we'd be up, if you, do it 5 years, then things could change. 2 years, all the rules and regulations are more, probably going to stay the same. Okay. Oh, good. All right.
Got questions?
Yes.
So I just want to go back just for a second, make sure I understand in a simple way. So, annual leave, if I cash in, say, 2 months worth of annual leave, I get a lump sum payment for those 2 months. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
But it does not add 2 more months to my annuity computation.
Not for your annual leave.
Right. So I
Sick
don't get
leave.
a lump sum payment. Sick leave, I get no lump sum payment, but it does add to my proration, if you will.
Right.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Thank you.
Go back in. Well, no, just get off the Social Security part. So one thing that we really don't have a slide on is the timing of different payments. So once you decide on a retirement date, and we try to send your package to payroll, that's the first place it comes to us. The first thing that's going to happen is you're going to get assigned to a specialist who will pull your EOPF and put together a preliminary annuity estimate for you. Send that to you, have you look it over, make sure we've got your service documented correct, and that we've gotten all your choices, your life insurance choices. It'll have whatever health insurance you have in there, your tax choices, your survivor elections. This will be what you can expect, except for state taxes. If you're retiring in a state that's subject to state taxes, there are a lot of states out there that don't tax your annuity. Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania, I believe. There's Tennessee. There's several states out there that do not tax your annuity. Some states tax part of it, and not all of it. But so the only thing that we don't take into consideration in your annuity estimate is taxes, is state taxes. We can account for everything else. So once everything's kosher, with everything's correct, then your specialist, there's extra paperwork that we have to add to your package, all of your benefits forms, your beneficiary forms, there's other checklists and forms that we add to the package. And then before it actually gets sent off, your specialist will call you and do a final counseling session to make sure that you understand that there's no more questions on your part and you're good with everything. And then we send your package to NFC. We try to do that 30 days in advance. But NFC can't do anything with it until after they've processed your last pay period as a regular employee, no matter where your retirement date falls in there. So if you're retiring, on the first Tuesday of the pay period, then you know that that pay period's not getting processed until the Thursday after that pay period ends. And this is where I was getting to with picking a retirement date could affect when you start receiving payments by as much as a month. Because payroll has to capture your final retirement contributions for that pay period and capture any leave you might have taken for that pay period so that your leave balances are correct. So once they've processed that final pay period, then they start working on your retirement package, pulling all your payroll records, reconciling your leave balances so that OPM gets the right numbers for your sick leave, and they pay you properly for your annual leave. They have up to 30 days to get all that done and get your package to OPM. OPM tells us that they're going to issue your first interim. You're going to be in interim status with OPM initially, and they're going to issue your first interim 4 to 8 weeks after they receive your package. Now they are issuing interims on the 1st and the 15th of the month, and then after that you will get your payments on the first business day of each month. But interim status with OPM is going to be 70 to 75% of what we estimate your annuity to be. Now, that 70 to 75% is on a basic FERS annuity only. The FERS supplement is not going to be payable to you until OPM finalizes your retirement. If you are a Leo or CBPO getting extra calculations in your annuity, those extra calculations are not going to be used. You're going to get 75% of 1% calculation until they finalize your annuity, which could be 6 to 9 months down the road. I've seen them happen quicker. It just depends on your particular circumstances, how complex your service history is. Our branch chief retired a couple years ago. She was in interim status for 2 months. My husband retired, as I told you, last October. He spent his whole career with the Department of Interior. He was in interim status for 2 months. But if you've got court orders, if you have a very complicated service history where you've been in several different agencies, sometimes it takes them longer. You know, they might not have all payroll records from your previous agency, so they've got to reach out and get those. Then and part of the reason for them doing the 75% is while you're in interim status, they are only going to be taking out federal taxes. All your choices, your life insurance, health insurance, survivor elections, those are in effect. Your health insurance automatically goes into retirement with you. Seamless. You're just not going to see those premiums coming out of your interim pay. And that's why OPM does the 75%. So that when they do finalize your retirement, they credit you with all that extra they've been withholding. They take out all those premiums that they needed to collect. And I don't think there's ever a case where the individual owed. They're going to owe you. So they're going to give you back the lump extra in addition to all, plus the first supplement that they'll owe you, and plus the extra calculations on the CBPO and the Leos. All right, so before we get into Social Security, let's take another break. We're going to come back at 4:15.